There are people in the world who grow up with rare medical conditions and deal with them as they grow older, regardless of adversity and incredible odds. Have you ever heard of the woman with no face? What about the boy with half a body? If you want to see some unique people, keep watching as we count down 15 individuals you won't believe actually exist.
Unique, like something that's special about you.
I can do this.
Number 15. Jyoti Amge. Jyoti was born in India in 1993 and was of average height until she was 5 years old, according to her mother. However, it was clear at that moment that her development was being impeded by some sort of disease. She was later diagnosed with achondroplasia, a type of dwarfism in which she will never grow above a specific height. Jyoti began attending school with regular-sized children at the age of 4, albeit she was given a desk and a chair that was more appropriate for her petite stature. When she appeared on television in 2009, she initially caught the attention of the public. She was measured by doctors on the show and discovered to be only 2 feet tall, confirming her status as the world's shortest adolescent. She weighed only 9 pounds more than she did at birth, despite being only 12 pounds. Jyoti was just 15 years old at the time, but her effervescent nature was obvious to all. She, like many other adolescent females, was obsessed with fashion and makeup. She also wished to pursue a career as an actor. Her newfound popularity, in fact, was already paving the way. Jyoti's success story was just getting started. She became the world's shortest living woman when she turned 18 in 2011. Jyoti had mentioned in the early days of her stardom that she wanted to go to different countries. Her wish list included a trip to America. Fortunately, all those ambitions have now come true. No one should doubt Jyoti Amge's objectives or her capacity to realize them because of her can-do attitude, bright optimism, and calm resolve. Number 14. Rahma Haruna. A Nigerian girl who lived her life in a plastic bowl and had no limbs has died. Rahma Haruna, 19, had a strange disease that prevented her limbs and legs from properly developing and left her in excruciating discomfort. Rahma was born in Nigeria and her arms and legs stopped developing when she was 6 months old. Fahad, her younger brother, would take her out every day to beg for money. Last year, though, a journalist presented the family with a wheelchair. She couldn't crawl from the time she was 6 months old. It all started with a fever, which progressed to stomach pains to the point that she couldn't move her legs or arms without excruciating discomfort. Her brother claimed that he devoted a significant portion of his life to assisting his sister. Rahma had entrepreneurial dreams, despite her severe impairment, indicating that she wished to create a business. Number 13. Isaiah Acosta. Isaiah Acosta, 21, was born with various health concerns, including agnathia, a rare ailment that left him without a lower jaw. Isaiah, who communicates by typing on a phone app that subsequently converts his words into audio, describes himself as amusing, wild, and loving. Other students at school, however, made Isaiah aware of his physical distinctions as he grew up. His parents reared him as if he were a typical child. When he was in elementary school, though, children asked him what was wrong with his face. That's when he realized he didn't look like others around him. He claims he likes the way God designed him, and he has no desire to change anything. After Isaiah was delivered, he was without oxygen for nearly 15 minutes. His parents were warned by physicians that their son would not survive the night, but he did. In 2019, Isaiah presented a TEDx talk about reclaiming control over how you're labeled by others. He's also amassed a sizable fan base on TikTok, where he raps, dances, and chronicles his everyday struggles.
In a different mode, Kadija on the road. Had to do some different things to put the family on.
Number 11. Michelle Kish. Hallermann-Streiff syndrome is a rare genetic condition that affects 1 in every 5 million people. The 23-year-old from Illinois was born with it. Despite the numerous hardships she has faced since then, she is determined to live her best life. Not to mention that she is one of the world's happiest individuals. Most of the symptoms of Hallermann-Streiff syndrome are shared by Michelle. It makes her appear younger than she is and causes medical problems that require continual attention. Thankfully, she may continue to live with her parents and older sister Sarah at home. The siblings have a very lovely bond. Michelle has always looked up to Sarah, but now more than ever she looks up to the lady she has become. Michelle's tenacity and cheerfulness were appreciated by Sarah. Michelle would rather spend her days playing the piano, playing iPad games, and hanging out with her dog. She hopes to work as a pediatrician in the future. Of course, she has contingency measures in place. She'd love to be a fashion designer or an actor. There are just two aspects of her life she wishes could be different. First and foremost, she desires a boyfriend with a lot of hair. Second, she wishes she were a little taller, so she could ride all the amusement park rides. Michelle's mother, Mary, who serves as her primary caretaker, says her favorite thing about Michelle is that she has strong self-esteem, loves herself, and has a lot of confidence. She carries on every day with a kind heart and makes her mother happy even when she's down in the dumps. Number 10. Lalit Patidar. Lalit Patidar, a 13-year-old student, has werewolf syndrome, a rare illness that has resulted in hair covering his face and body. He was born with congenital hypertrichosis, a condition marked by abnormally large amounts of hair growth on the face, arms, and other regions of the body, for which there is now no cure. Lalit is the only son born after 5 daughters, and is incredibly special despite his differences, according to his father, because he was born after many special prayers. Even though Lalit has accepted his appearance because of his illness, he still has to deal with vicious bullies, strangers insulting him, stones being thrown at him, and being referred to as a monkey by some. During such occasions, however, his family and friends come to his aid and defend him. He occasionally wishes for surgery to remove the excess hair so he can be friends with everyone. Despite his obstacles, Lalit claims to live a happy life and is determined to realize his dream of becoming an honest police officer who can prosecute all crooks and criminals. Lalit does well in school and excels in athletics. Number 9. Didier Montalvo. A boy's mole had grown so huge by the age of 6 that it covered his entire back like a turtle shell, earning him the nickname Turtle Boy. According to a top surgeon, Didier Montalvo's condition was the worst he'd ever seen. Congenital melanocytic nevus is a rare birthmark that affects roughly 1 in every 20,000 newborns. Didier's life was significantly impacted by the growth, which spanned more than half of his body circumference, both in terms of the painful scratching of his skin and how it affected his confidence. Villagers in his hometown in rural Colombia, South America, shunned him and his family, and his mother Luz was even told it was her fault because she had seen a solar eclipse while pregnant. His family couldn't afford surgery, but his life was turned around when his heartfelt story was published in a local newspaper, resulting in a flood of donations. Even though they could finally afford the surgery, the life-altering treatment would be painful, dangerous, and difficult. Because of the operation, Didier's quality of life has greatly improved. Number 8. Paul Carrison. A blue dude isn't something you see every day. Paul went from being a regular guy to being blue and appearing on the Oprah Winfrey Show. We know his photographs are frightening, since we've never seen somebody like him before. Paul has turned a deep shade of blue. He isn't dressed up or wearing makeup he can remove when he comes home. There's no going back now. He wasn't always like this though. Paul Carrison was born with reddish blonde hair and fair skin. He appeared normal for years, but suddenly things began to alter. Paul began to change. Paul began to turn blue when he was over 45 years old. He was attempting to treat a skin ailment, but he preferred to do so alone. As a result, he realized that there was at least one thing that could help: silver. He read that combining silver and water could help him get rid of his flaky skin. He did not only drink colloidal silver, but he also applied it to his skin. He eventually turned blue because of the combination of both. His organs, according to some physicians, were also blue. Mind-blowing! That's how Paul Carrison got famous all around the world. Perhaps he was unaware that the FDA banned the use of colloidal silver in 1999, after it was discovered it could cause serious harm. He developed a disorder called argyria over time. Algeria is a condition produced by prolonged exposure to silver-based chemical compounds. The most severe sign of this illness, like in Paul's case, is when your skin turns blue. He had generalized Algeria, which meant the color of his entire body, not just portions, had altered. Oprah was taken aback when he appeared on her show because he was so blue. Dr. Oz was also in attendance, and he couldn't take his gaze away from Paul. According to Dr. Oz, the silver invaded Paul's cells, causing his entire body to turn blue. Paul's health deteriorated later in life, and he battled prostate cancer and other health issues. Paul Carrison died of a heart attack and a stroke. Number 7. Kadija Khatoon. Doctors advised a young woman that surgery could kill her, so she has lived her entire life without a face. Now they believe it may be harboring a tumor. Kadija Khatoon, 21, has a mass of flesh hanging from her forehead and only a small slit for an eye and a nose. Her parents were initially ignorant of their daughter's condition, but were concerned when she refused to open her eyes despite the fact that she was only 2 months old. They said doctors told them there was nothing they could do and that any operation would have killed her. Her situation deteriorated as her excess skin continued to develop. Kadija later made the same decision as her parents as an adult, even though her disability prohibited her from attending school and she had no friends. Her family members were the only people that remained with her, and she adores them. The poor family couldn't afford to send their daughter for more tests because they didn't have enough money. Kadija suffers from neurofibromatosis, a disease that makes her prone to tumors. There's a chance she's a potentially lethal tumor inside her face. Number 6. The boy with half a body. This little boy was born different, with no lower body, but he still maintains a kind and cheerful character. Despite his predicament, his handicap doesn't prevent him from playing tennis, fetch water, swap the compound, and so on and so forth. His mother was told to stop breastfeeding him because he was worthless, but his mother resisted the pressure and never gave up on the boy. The boy has a great attitude, and he doesn't let his condition depress him and prevent him from doing things. He hangs around with the other kids in the village, and they seem to appreciate him. The boy is very athletic and can use his arms to walk around and climb on chairs and do other things. The boy is extremely popular in the village, and the other kids empathize with him and are ready to help him at any time. For such a young boy, he has a strong upper body, and his arms allow him to do things normal kids can't do, like handstands. Although many people discouraged his mom, telling her the boy would always be sleeping, eating, and defecating without ever doing anything else, the boy has proven everyone wrong and leads a happy life considering the circumstances. Number 5. Sajad Gharibi. With his massive muscles and violent facial expressions, Sajad Gharibi, a 29-year-old Iranian weightlifter, has earned the nickname the Iranian Hulk, or the Persian Hercules as he prefers. With a series of famous shirtless images that demonstrates the astounding size of his muscles, the young man has created a lot of buzz on social media and acquired a significant following. He can lift 386 pounds and competes in national and international powerlifting contests. However, it appears he has yet to define how he lifts the weight he mentions. If that's his biceps curl weight, it's quite impressive. Even 386 pounds on the bench press is remarkable. If that's his deadlift or squat weight, however, it's not quite as astounding for a man of his stature. Gharibi has swiftly become an internet superstar in his own right, boosting his Instagram followers from 59,000 to 108,000 in just a few weeks, and 500,000 in just a few years, owing to his eagerness to flaunt his huge figure. Some people are so taken aback by his rock-hard 350-pound figure that they think his photos have been doctored. Number 4. Samantha Ramsdell. Before being awarded the Guinness World Record for having the widest female mouth, a TikTok celebrity revealed she had to show she hadn't had any surgery. Samantha Ramsdell, 31, of Stamford, Connecticut, became a social media sensation last year after disclosing on social media last year that her mouth can open to an amazing 2.56 inches. She was honored by Guinness for breaking the world record for the greatest female mouth gape, and she appeared on This Morning today where she pushed a whole full sandwich into her mouth at once. When asked by hosts Eamon Holmes and Ruth Langsford when she first discovered her mouth was bigger than usual, she said she'd known she had a big mouth since she looked in the mirror. If you look at her infant images, you'll notice that her face has always been 80% mouth, but it wasn't until comments on social media about how large her mouth was that she paid attention. Samantha created her social media sites to showcase her acting abilities, not realizing that her facial characteristic would get so much attention. Samantha had only a few hundred followers on social media in 2019, but she now has 1.7 million loyal TikTok admirers. Who said having a big mouth doesn't pay off? Number 3. Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson, a young American boy, holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest gaping mouth. A tennis ball, a soda can, a large apple, or a medium pizza slice can all be swallowed vertically by Isaac. Yes, Isaac holds the world record for the widest mouth gape. Thanks to a video posted on Facebook, his 4-inch mouth gape record has been reclaimed. The video has received a lot of excellent reaction, and you'll be astonished at how well it works. In the video, Isaac's jaw gape is being measured. When Isaac was 14 years old, his jaw gape measured 3.67 inches. With a measurement of 3.75 inches, local Philip Agnes had broken his record. In 2020, Isaac discovered his mouth gape had grown wider, allowing him to recover the title. Number 2. Kim Goodman. Kim Goodman's eyeballs can protrude 0.47 inches beyond her eye sockets. In 2007, her eyes were measured in Istanbul, Turkey. Measuring the pop is a precise science that requires the use of a proptometer by an optometrist. The final eye-watering result is based on an average of 3 measurements. The term proptosis refers to eyeball displacement or bulging eyes. Kim found her gift after being smacked in the head with a hockey mask, but she can now pop her eyeballs out on command. Number 1. Chandra Bahadur Dangi. Chandra Bahadur Dangi, one of the most famous record holders ever to adorn the pages of the Guinness World Records book, passed away recently. Mr. Dangi, the Nepalese record holder, was a primordial dwarf, a condition that sees people seldom live past 30. Yet he lived for 75 years and left an indelible impression on the world with his power and spirit. Chandra was the world's shortest man, standing 21.5 inches tall and weighing only 31 pounds, and he still holds the title. Chandra had spent his entire life in the remote Nepalese mountain village of Rimkoli, roughly 250 miles west of Kathmandu, until he was recognized by Guinness World Records. He made a living weaving traditional Nepalese clothing alongside his 5 brothers, all of whom were of ordinary height. Chandra's resistance was so isolated that his small stature was only discovered after a forest contractor harvesting timber in the village met him and told local media. Craig Glenday, editor-in-chief of Guinness World Records, recalls accepting Dangi's invitation to Kathmandu in 2012 to observe his official measurements, recalling the momentous moment Chandra was acknowledged as the world's shortest man. It was there that they stood in front of the world's press and declared him not only the tiniest man alive, but also the shortest man ever measured in Guinness World Records' 60-year history. After his record was confirmed, he was flooded with gifts and invitations from all over the world, and he became an instant global celebrity. He managed the media circus with ease, and while he appreciated praise and honors, he also recognized how important it was for everyone in Nepal to commemorate his historic achievement. Chandra was overjoyed that Guinness World Records had recognized him and that his name will be included in the book. It was a significant event for his family, village, and country. He was also ecstatic. Because of his Guinness World Records designation, he was able to travel to many different areas throughout the world and meet a variety of individuals, and the love he received was meaningful to him. Chandra met fellow record holder Sultan Carrison, the world's tallest man, who was 4.5 times Chandra's size. In an amazing encounter, Sultan expressed his sadness upon learning of Chandra's death while speaking from his home in Turkey. He was devastated by Chandra's death and hoped for him to rest in peace. Sultan remarked further that Chandra had a significant international impact. Dangi was the ideal ambassador for his country, always pleasant and dignified, and willing to pose for photos and tell stories about his life as a half-meter tall man. Everyone at the Guinness Book of World Records was devastated to learn that Mr. Dangi's death and expressed their sympathies to his family. I totally empathise with all these people. Some of them are worse off than others, but two that touched me the most was the woman with no face and the boy with half a body. Which one touched you the most? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 individuals you won't believe actually exist. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.